Hello and welcome to another round 1 matchup in the second ITW Championship tournament. This battle is going to be casted live, and we have as Kush, we have ANV White Line, and as Getai we have AC Sofado. The map is Pyramids, which is an advantage to the Kush because they're resistant to heat and will fatigue less fast, um, or fatigue slower than the Getai will. And so we can go with the builds here. For White Lion, he has a Commander Gen Archer. That is pretty interesting. Also, we have some disciples of Apedimac, which is a good pick against Getai, in my opinion. Seems to be two of those. Also, we have 4 Hotel Warriors, some Tribesmen, 3 of them, Armored Desert Cav, 1 Desert Cav on each flank. And for Getai, what we have Heavy Spears, Spear Warriors, Mercenary Axe Warriors, seems to be both on the same flank. We have Noble Horsemen, which is interesting, 2 of those. Noble Swords seem to be 1, 2, 3 that I can count. Yeah, 3 Axe Warriors, some Mercenary Tradition Peltasts. Needs to be 3 Spears, some Spear Warriors. So a decent build. Since this battle is live, I can't really go into be more detailed about the builds. But we see White Lion here going aggressive on the flanks with his cavalry, which is good. The reason why I believe these disciples will be good against Getai is because Getai don't have slingers, and we see White Lion doing a move which is pretty common to do in Shogun 2, but not in Rome. So that is to charge swords with cavalry early on, but you can see it's pretty just meaningless in this game. So the archers of so we see White Lion advancing here. He's targeting the general of Sofado with his tribesmen, and he's using his cavalry here to block charges of the infantry of Sofado. Actually, pretty nice move, getting those disciples in there, the melee. Noble Swords of Sofado charging the Shotel Warriors. Nice moves by Sofado by moving his spears back to get good charges with the units that matter. This engagement here should be won by Sofado every day of the week. Once these noble horsemen get untied from this engagement here, they can do some massive damage, especially to all of these units here, but he has to do it fast because they are doing a lot of damage at the moment. But I believe that it was pretty dumb, no, sorry, not dumb, but it was a mistake by White Lion to engage his cavalry so early on when he did not have cavalry advantage, because this means that now Sofado is free to use his cavalry the way he wants, and that is to just clear up all of these units here, because they're very susceptible to cav charges. But meanwhile, while that is happening, this one unit of Shotel Warriors has tied down 3 units of Sofado, and they're taking massive damage from all of these skirmishers. The Shutel warriors here should be used, not standing idle. Now comes the really interesting part of the game here. If Sofado can use his noble horseman here, 72 men still, to clear up all of these skirmishers. It looks to me like he does. And if he does, he should have the game. The mistake from White Lane was definitely to engage his cavalry so early on. He really needed it for this part of the game to necessarily to protect his skirmishers, because all during this time these skirmishers gave him the chance to win the game right here because it did so much damage. And if he would have had his cavalry later on, he could have protected them. Not necessarily win the engagement with his cavalry, but at least fend them off until the skirmishers could have done enough damage, in my opinion. But that is just me. This tribesman doing some damage to this cavalry. But it looks like it is over. It was an interesting tactic from White Line though to have that many amount of skirmishers in the rear line and then just focus firing. But it didn't work out. He also won some engagements, like here on the left he won the infantry engagement, and if it would have continued these disciples with an impressive amount of kills here, would have cleared up the right. And he was actually focus firing in the center of Sofado's infantry line, so he really lost the game due to him throwing away cavalry, I would say. He did play a lot like you see some players play Shogun 2 in tournaments where they charge in their cavalry, sheep cavalry, into swords because the charge bonus in or the mass in Shogun 2 causes cav charges to be very effective against swords. Doesn't work in Rome 2, however. So GG, game number 1. I will cut here and we'll jump into game number 2 after we have taken a look at the unit statistics. Infantry of White Line actually did well. If look at these cavalry stats, could have been more effective. Also, if he would have been given time to use this Nubian bowman, he would have done better. But look at the cavalry of Sofado, very nice. 513 kills and 300 kills. That's where he won the game. Because the infantry of Sofado would not have held up against this. No way. So he just had to protect his skirmishers, and then he would have won White Lane. But still, nice game to both players. I'll cut here and we'll jump into game number 2. Alright, so we're in game number 2, and White Lion brings Sparta this time. He picked first, and Safado counterpicked with Saba, which is a very interesting faction. Really looking forward to see him play this. It's a cav faction, of course. These Muscat Marauders have good charge, but they will die to the Spartan infantry. He's got some meat shields as well, but his killing power is of course in these cataphracts here. Sparta is fine versus cavalry factions because they're a spear faction, of course, and they have bonus versus large. But as you can see, it's not that much as you might think. I mean, these Royal Spartan just have 15. I mean, even these Desert Spearmen have 20. And Spartan infantry don't have javelins, which is very deadly versus cavalry. So I would give advantage to Saba. And Saba brings a lot of cataphracts, camel cataphracts, and what else? His general is, well, yeah, so he brings camel cataphracts, also some armored camel spearmen, so it's a camel cavalry build, with 3 slingers. However, White Lane brings 3 Cretan archers, some javelin men, I guess to compensate for the lack of javelins in his infantry. He brings, what is it, 2 Tarantine cavalry, 1 skirmisher cav, 2 citizen cav, also Royal Spartans, some Spartan youths, Heroes of Sparta's general, commander, Sofado strategist. So he has a pretty quality infantry, which is not really what you want, because quality, yeah, it will kill this infantry for sure, but 2 units would be able to protect more areas, which is good versus cavalry factions. But some engagements have already started. Camel Spearmen versus Citizen Cavalry backed up by Desert Levy, so Saba will win this. Some awkward engagements here. Citizen Cavalry connect to Slingers. Some cataphracts are charging up the center, blocking the charge of the Spartan infantry. On the right side, Skirmisher Cavalry are connected with armored camel spearmen, so they will lose that. Marib Guard and camel spear. This is pulled through actually, but it's allowed cavalry against infantry, but not infantry against infantry. So Spartan youths are gonna die here. Also, mercenary Marib Guard is here. Up the center, the infantry is actually dying from the Spartan infantry, so these Muscat murders are just wasting away. The javelins, however, are not used efficiently. I would say they should be targeting the cataphracts, and currently they are targeting the Marib Guard. And as you can see now, Whiteling has the quality infantry, but if he would have 2 more infantry, he would be able to protect his skirmishers, because the mid-tier infantry is good enough to kill off these infantries anyway from Saba. But here you can see the javelins of the Piroka Spear has javelins, and I'm not sure if Spartan use do actually anymore, but the Cretan archers are actually racking up some kills here against the Camel Spearmen. The problem here is that now when he chases, he's opening up some areas for these Camel Spearmen to charge in, so they will get a lot of kills, but question is if they can get out. He can just knock these guys out over and then pull through, I guess. But they get stuck. Rear charge on the Piroka Spears, a very nice charge. Sofado has been able to get rid of the cavalry of Sparta, or of White Lion, which I guess is his target, because he wants to have complete domination with cavalry and slingers for late game. So yeah, he's clearing up the cavalry of Sparta pretty nicely, and he is taking control of this game. So it looks like there will be a 2-0 victory for AC Sofado. Very nice. Saba play here. In my opinion, White Lane did the same mistake as last game. He threw away cavalry for basically nothing. Didn't protect his skirmishers, and yeah, basically just lost the game because of that. Because also he started spreading out with a few infantry units he had, which opened up a lot of areas where Sofado could utilize his cavalry, and therefore he lost, I'd say. So now it's just a matter of cleaning up. You'll probably see some rear charges coming in here with the cattle effects. Also, while I'm sitting here doing nothing, so you're all very welcome to suggest or tell us what sort of tournaments you're interested in next, because after this tournament, obviously this is round one and the tournament will continue for quite some time, but after that there is no scheduled tournament, and we just we would want some heads up on what you guys want to play. Um, any Total War titles you want, and we will schedule a tournament based on that interest. Um, Also, not only titles, like if you want to see 2v2 tournaments or shit, even naval tournaments, just give us a heads up and we'll see if the interest is high and we'll make a tournament out of it. But here we can see the statistics. Some Quiriton archers didn't do very well. 3 kills is nothing. Spartan youths um, didn't do very good as well, but they're cheap units, so turn tank. Yeah, this one did very good because it connected to this slinger here, I think. But you can see that Sofado really knew how to use his cavalry, and so he won. Impressive kills here, 355, no, 351 kills, really impressive. Mascot Marauders did better than expected, actually. Some of these kills are probably, I guess this one got stuck with these Royal Spartans, and maybe this one got stuck into Spartan Youth or something. But anyways, good game to both players, and thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next casting.